This is Pete Thomas from Season 2 of NBC's The Biggest Loser. It's been a while since I've been on, way back in Season 2, but we're successfully keeping the weight off. And so all the fans over there at biggestloserfans.com, you all have sent me some questions. And so what I decided to do was just take all of them and respond to you guys in this video email. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that it's some benefit to you. We're going into 2009 and we're going to have an awesome year. And so I just thought I'd answer a few of your questions. Now, in those 62 days, I lost 83 pounds total. Then I went home to lose another 102 pounds at home for a total weight loss of 185 pounds in only 9 months. You know, now I help other people lose weight. And one of the jokes I kind of say, you know, if you're looking to lose 20 or 30 pounds, I'm not your guy. But if you're looking to lose the Olsen twins, come talk to me. And so I've got a little bit of experience in losing weight, but really the awesome part about that whole experience was what I learned on the ranch. I was able to take that and translate it into my home workouts. And so I worked out 4 hours a day, each and every day, minimum, while on the Biggest Loser Ranch. Even on our off days, we worked out for 4 hours. We would take 4 hours off and take a 4-hour hike into the mountains. So it was really an intense time. Now, when I got home, obviously I had to go back to normal life. I could not work out that much, couldn't work out that hard, not 4 hours a day, but I could get in 2 to 2.5 hours a day. Here's how I did it. By cutting out television time, by getting off the computer, by not talking on the phone so much with friends. You know, there are really a lot of things that you can cut out when you need to be focused, when you really got a goal in front of you. And that's really important to you, to have a goal in front of you. But that's how I lost the weight, by working out very, very hard for 2 to 2.5 hours a day while at home. And that's what I would encourage everyone else to do. You know, there are 3 parts to the puzzle when it comes to losing weight. There's your mind, your mouth, and your muscles. And as I like to say, you've got to master your mind, you've got to manage your mouth, and you've got to multiply your muscles. And that's also what I teach. Again, as I mentioned, you know, if you're looking to achieve the goal of permanent, long-lasting weight loss, if you want to change your life for the better, you've got to really get a handle on these 3 areas. You've got to master your mind, manage your mouth, and multiply your muscles. In other words, when it comes to master your mind, you've got to have a mind change. You've got to change the way you think about things. You must set goals. You must really have an idea of what you're going to look like and how long you're going to maintain. I'll tell you this. On the show, my goal was simply to lose 140 pounds. That's where I weighed my second year in college. So I wanted to get back to that. And I got back and I went even further. I did even better than that. Then to do that, I had to learn how to manage my mouth. Now here's my number one rule. My number one rule. Never, ever, 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 ever start a diet program that you can't maintain for the rest of your life. Think about that. If you're going to manage your mouth, you can't get into a diet program that you're on this month and off next month. You've got to get into a program that you can maintain for the rest of your life. You've got to get into a program that you can maintain for the rest of your life. And then thirdly, you've got to multiply your muscles. Now, whether you're doing cardiovascular exercise, which strengthens your heart muscle, or you're doing actual resistance training, which, you know, increases all the other muscles, you have got to learn these 3 areas. You've got to master your mind, manage your mouth, and multiply your muscles. And that's one of the things that we teach. You know, you guys have asked me if I have any plans to take my program online, and I absolutely do. You can sign up at winningman.com for our newsletter, or you can go to loseitfast.loseitforever.com. That's loseitfast.loseitforever.com. Sign up there. We're definitely taking the program online. You know, I've had great results. For the first couple of years that I was back from the show, I just went back to my normal everyday life, and I went about being a normal person, a normal human being. And then, you know, a couple of years in, people were starting to question me. They said, Pete, how are you managing to keep all of that weight off? You're doing such a great job. How are you doing it? And so that's when I began to share with others just about the success that I was having. And really what it came down to is when I came back from the show, I realized I had to make these changes permanent. And so I had to become a student of health and wellness and fitness and nutrition. I had to become a student for my own self. Then out of that, again, people began to ask for the same information that I was using, so I developed this 10-week course, these 10 weeks sets of classes that I've come up with called Lose It Fast, Lose It Forever. That expanded. We include a grocery store tour. We do all of these different things, and people have been just wildly successful. I've got a couple, they lost 130 pounds combined in somewhere around 4 or 5 months, and so another guy, he lost 44 pounds in 8 weeks just by riding his recumbent bike at home in his living room while watching television every night, so, but there, of course, he did it in a certain way that I taught him about. But you can be wildly successful at this if you've got the right teacher and you've got a systematic approach. And that's what we try to give. We try to give people a system, step by step, what to do week after week, day after day to be successful. And it's worked for many others, and it'll work for you as well, I believe, if you have an interest in that. The best weight loss advice I've received, I'd have to say it came from Jillian. There was not one piece of advice that I got from her, and I know that sounds like, a goofy answer, but let me tell you, there are specific things that she taught me about working out with intensity. There's specific things she taught me about eating. There are a bunch of specific things, but more than any of that, she really taught me to push myself further than I think that I could go. I never, ever, ever believed going onto the Biggest Loser Ranch that I'd be able to work out for 2.5 hours day one. Day one. Coming from a sedentary lifestyle, getting off the couch, getting onto the Biggest Loser Ranch and working out for 2.5 hours, never, ever thought I'd be able to do that. I never thought that I could push my body or myself, my mind really, to do all of the things that she asked me to do. And so that was really the most incredible thing, and that's what I'd pass on to you. You can do more than you think you can. You can push yourself harder than you think you can. And if you can't push yourself hard to the point of pain, get a trainer. Get a knowledgeable, very knowledgeable trainer to help push you. Get a mentor around you. I could, provide some of that, but you need somebody right where you're at to be able to push you beyond your limits. You can do it, but I'd say of all the things that I've learned, number one of the best things that you'll learn is what I'm teaching you, because I've learned that through experience. Never, ever, ever start a diet program, a nutrition program that you can't maintain for the rest of your life. I've learned that. That's probably the best nutritional advice you're ever going to receive, because that's the thing that I've learned for myself. But as far as what I've learned, I can be pushed, and I can push and push and push harder than I ever thought I'd be able to. People ask me all the time, do you still maintain a relationship with any of the other contestants on the Biggest Loser Ranch? And I have to tell you, absolutely I do. For Christmas, I sent text messages to all the guys on the show, and actually some of the girls. My season was guys versus girls. And got a response from a few of them, and actually Dr. Jeff and I remain real close. We're in email contact, or if I'm on the road to a speaking engagement, I'll call him. If he's on the road to a speaking engagement, he'll call me. So we stay in a real close relationship. And that's the way I am with Jillian as well. Somebody asked me a question. I said, I don't know the answer to that. Let me text Jay right quick. And so I text her. She sent me back an answer in a couple of hours. And so I'm actually going to be on a call with her and sometime next week. So we stay. It's a real tight-knit fraternity, if you want it to be. Some people who have gained the weight back or feel more embarrassed about where they've gone from the show, typically they don't stay in as close a contact with us as others. But we typically like to be a tight-knit group.